Joe Rogan brutally denounced American media companies, including media celebrities like Howard Stern, and explained why he hates the current state of the media. According to Rogan, media members, like Howard Stern, are doing everything they can to restrict free speech and worsen the lives of the American people. Rogan also revealed a lot of dirty things that have been done by media members, and that's why he does not like Howard Stern anymore. This is an interesting story, so let's explain everything. And there are a few specific examples where Rogan showed his dislike of Hollywood celebrities and media. And probably the celebrity with whom Rogan has the biggest conflict is Howard Stern. First, we should point out how Rogan explained that being famous from a young age is very difficult. There are a lot of challenges, and it's important that your family is very supportive. And Stern didn't handle being famous as well as he should have. As you know, a few days ago, in an interview, Howard Stern said that Rogan lied a lot, and Joe is not as honest as people think. As Howard Stern said, Rogan is constantly lying to his fans and is portraying a different person than he is in reality. As he explained, he has been criticized a lot, but people don't know who he really is or what problems he is facing. And it's not a secret that not only Howard Stern, but the media and Hollywood podcasters in general do not like Joe Rogan. It all started with the episode number 1926 of the Joe Rogan Experience, where Rogan criticized Howard Stern. Rogan acknowledged Stern's groundbreaking influence in the media industry, particularly when Stern was known as the king of all media. During that time, Stern was a true pioneer, fearlessly challenging the status quo and taking on formidable opponents like the FCC, which levied massive fines against his business. However, Rogan also noted the stark contrast between Stern's past persona and his current behavior, radically different from the Stern of old. Rogan suggested that Stern's current image is a calculated response to avoid scrutiny over his earlier, more controversial actions. Rogan said, "People to this day make fun of Howard Stern because of who he is now and the way he behaves now, but that guy's the man. He was a pioneer when he was the king of all media. The government was fining him. They were fining his business millions of dollars. He was out there doing wild stuff, and now he's woke. It's crazy." And over the years, Joe Rogan many times already shown that he does not like the current state of media and podcasters. And it all started in 2021 when Rogan called the mainstream news industry a morally corrupt venture. The primary focus of his remarks was directed towards CNN as the news outlet made headlines instead of reporting them following the failed launch of their streaming service, CNN+. During the episode, Rogan was joined by British political commentator Douglas Murray. He jokingly called the service CNN- after it was shut down. Additionally, he rebuked the reporting service for spending hundreds of millions on the unsuccessful launch. He took a jab at CNN and said, "They spent $300 million and only got 10,000 subscribers. It's arrogant to think that something people don't want for free is worth charging for." Furthermore, Rogan and his guest criticized Brian Stelter, CNN's chief media correspondent and host of Reliable Source, since he attributed the failure of the streaming service to a corporate strategy. AT&T had decided to spin off CNN's parent company, Warner Media, to merge with Discovery around the same time. As Discovery became in charge, CNN was forced to abandon its plans. The media giant reviewed the $300 million investment into the project, which the news outlet had decided to invest $1 billion in initially. Unfortunately, the 10,000 active users and 150,000 signups didn't come off as promising, leading the project to be canceled. Speaking on the situation, Brian said, "And because figures like Rogan are trusted by people that don't trust real newsrooms, we have a tension, a problem that's much bigger than Spotify, much bigger than any single platform." However, the direct call-out didn't force Rogan to abandon his opinions. Instead, he doubled down on his views of the industry. In 2023, while on the Matt and Shane Secret podcast with Shane Gillis and Matt McCusker, Rogan proceeded to express his views about how most people today are conforming to certain views and how they risk a backlash if they choose not to. The comment invited Shane to cite the example of Howard Stern and how he would never create the type of content today that he did in the 1990s. Joe said, "People mock Howard Stern now because of how he behaves, but back then, he was the man, doing crazy stuff on the radio." However, he also took the time to point out how Howard has become more woke, which prompted McCusker to explain. Matt suggested that Stern may have altered the content he produces, recognizing that his earlier material likely would not be woke enough in today's climate, a sentiment with which Rogan agreed. Rogan's inflammatory comments have earned him backlash from the likes of billionaire Mark Cuban, who criticized Joe for his views in 2023. Cuban wrote on X, "Joe, you and Elon Musk's at Twitter are the mainstream online media, and your platforms have become everything supposedly wrong with MSM. You are driven by self-interest, just like the MSM always has been accused of, and you both have earned that right. You busted your bleeps to be great at what you do and earned all you have accomplished. But don't lie to yourselves and all of us and tell us you are different. You aren't." More recently, in 2024, Rogan seized the opportunity to shine a light on CNN's debatable news reporting. The Late Show host Stephen Colbert made a joke about CNN being objective during his interview with network anchor Caitlin Collins. His remark invited laughs from the audience, which in Joe's view was a perfect depiction of where the news agency stood in the eyes of the public. Joe commented on the situation during his podcast, saying, "How crazy is that? The audience is like, shut up. That is hilarious. They thought he was being a joker. They thought that was a joke. That's how crazy this world has gotten, where CNN being unbiased is a joke to people in the audience. That's so crazy." He then proceeded to explain how the backlash was well-deserved given CNN's reporting style. Rogan said, "If you were running a business, what did you accomplish by doing things that way? You've ruined your business because now people think you're lying, and you could have just been just straightforward journalists and been beyond reproach and probably gotten away with. But you wouldn't have got as much money. You got to get those ads in." Moreover, Rogan is not the only one who chooses to heavily criticize mainstream media. Elon Musk is not a fan either. He once tweeted an image that read, "The New Woke Times," along with the caption, "I love their new caption." Musk then expanded on his thoughts in the comments section, saying, "Hard to tell the difference between real press and parody these days." Furthermore, Musk believes that traditional media outlets, which have long been a staple for people for information, will be replaced by social media platforms like X. Musk has also urged journalists in the past that if they're looking for a better income and more freedom when it comes to publishing, they could resort to his platform. He managed to stir up quite a controversy when he tweeted, "I almost never read legacy news anymore. What's the point of reading 1,000 words about something that was already posted on X several days ago?" However, it's worth mentioning that Musk's disdain for typical news reporting might stem from the fact that he has long been criticized by them. According to an analysis by Signal AI, Musk gets more coverage compared to 49 of the most prominent CEOs, most of it negative. Of course, this kind of negative coverage carries repercussions for companies like SpaceX and Tesla, consequently giving him yet another reason to raise his voice against mainstream media. So, that's why Rogan criticizes the media for prioritizing narratives that serve corporate interests or political agendas over genuine truth-seeking, which he believes undermines public trust. Rogan also points out that many podcasters, especially those who try to emulate traditional media, fall into the same traps, focusing more on gaining clicks and followers, rather than fostering honest and meaningful discussions. That's it for today.